guys? Tambo here with your weekly core report. It was an amazing week last week, loaded with winners across multiple sports. Here are some of the highlights. We kick off things in the college football streets where our members have been crushing. Phil Mix Bra hit for $1,500, while Freddie 11 won $3,400. In MMA, 57 Lions had a nice ROI, turning $100 into over $1,000. And Agency Arms LLC hit for $2.9K in NHL. Just a reminder, our memberships include all sports for one price. World Cup kicks off next week too, and we will have a ton of content to help you shift. So sign up today and let's start running pure. In the NFL, RPS ran the leaderboards once again. I landed my 5th King of the Beach ticket. D. Bailey 2106 hit for $5K. J. Rex 777 won $38K. And D. Kafer shipped the 3rd live final seat. Our biggest sport last week was the NBA, where our members shipped left and right. Our NBA content has been on fire, and you can catch our daily shows for free by subscribing to our YouTube channel right now. ROI was strong in NBA last week too. Connor turned $28 into $1,700 using KFALX Core. Chunky Blue turned $14 into $1,700. Junior turned $64 into $1,800. Chargers 0616 hit for $2K, while Brandon 2323 won over $10K. Our coordinators joined in as well, with Bobby Hare winning $14K. Mangone hit for $16K, while KFALX shipped for $44,000. Congrats again to all our members. If you want to be featured in our weekly core report, drop your winning lineup in our Members Never Win channel in our premium Discord. If you're not a member, join now. You won't find a better value with all sports included for one low price. And while you're watching, hit that like button now. Remember, if you're not winning with us, you're watching us win. Until next time, let's keep running pure.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Run Pure Sports NBA Hardwood Show. We're here breaking down the 11-game slate here on Friday night. A lot of injury stuff to get to, a lot of news that we're still waiting on. We got you covered, though, so you're in the right spot. Before we get into the NBA content, as always, I'm joined by my guys, JT Hayes, Mr. C-Dome, Chris Randone. I got to get your guys' take on this DC and Crane bet, right? So there's some talk about, like, if you don't work out or anything, like, how much can you really bench, blah, blah, blah. Well, then the bet emerged between Crane and DC. Crane is obviously, he's a bigger fella, but he's on the way down. He's lost, I think he said, like 48 pounds. DC says, you know what, Crane, how about you put your money where your mouth is? 135 pounds. Can you get it up? Crane says, yep. So apparently Crane's going to the gym tomorrow morning. He's gonna record this, I guess, and put it on Twitter. I'm the judge at this point. So, JT and Randall, I'd say the three of us out of the Run Pure group, probably three of the guys in better shape. I mean, there's not a lot of competition out there, but I know all three of us hit the gym, take care of our body a little bit. JT, I'm gonna go to you first. Does Crane get up 135 pounds?
Well, first, this is another classic DC bet. He's got there's like nothing, no skin in the game here. It's, can you do this? It wouldn't be like, hey, who could do more 135-pound reps, right? That would make sense to me. This is just classic DC. I'm just so in love with his bets ever since he told me that he would shave his head if Matt Chapman hit a home run off Shane McClanahan. Of course, Chappie goes yard. So that was beautiful. But listen, 135 is, if you're not working out, if you're not doing any push-ups, 135 sounds easy, just 245 pounds on the bar. It's not that fucking easy if you're not working out, though.
That was my point.
I think I give this, I like Crane. I mean, I've enjoyed Crane for years. Follow him on Twitter. Impressed by the weight loss, because that's a tough thing to do once you get into routine. I give it 70-30 that DC's on the right side of this, though.
Yeah, the thing is, it's people say, oh, 135, that's not much. If you are not doing some sort of weightlifting, it's very hard to do. I mean, it's not easy. I mean, I work out, I don't know, like 4 days a week. I lift weights. Yes, like Crane tried calling me out right away. He's like, well, can you do it? I was like, dude, I've been lifting for years. Yes, I can get up 135 pounds.
Yeah.
He's losing weight. That's awesome. If he's not lifting weights,
Yeah,
I think he fails. Randone, you're in the gym a lot. What are your thoughts?
Man, this is tough because one, how did Crane lose the weight? Strictly cardio? Is it, is it actual weight? Is it actual weight training? Because
he does have a trainer apparently. So there's some information there that he does have a trainer.
It wasn't the staple surgery though, right? I mean,
no, he said he's been eating healthy and hitting the gym. So is he just going on the treadmill or on the elliptical, or is he lifting weights? That is important to know.
Yeah, because I mean, if he's not weight training and it's just strictly cardio based, that means he's depleted his muscle strength as well. So we have to take that into consideration. But I mean, like 135 is the normal to go in, you put up 10 right away for a warm up. At least that's for me. That's what you start off with. Like JT said, 45 on each side, you get the job done. And that's like the start to, going hard in the paint for the day. So I don't know though. How many reps does he have to do?
Just one. Just has to get it.
My money's on Crane. That's not.
You think he's going to do it? I mean, so the official stance is got to start full arms fully extended, like elbows can't be bent. Come all the way down, touch his chest, straight up, arms extended, just one time.
I think DC was big on this. DC clearly doesn't do a lot of working out because he thinks a full push-up is. So when you're benching, you don't want to come all the way down because you can literally bounce it back up, right? You want to stop where your elbows are even with maybe the back of your shoulders and then push it back up. So that's an advantage for Crane.
Yeah. I think Crane.
I always go to the
Crane's
chest,
but
I see what you're saying though. Yeah.
Yeah. It depends. I think, if you get heavier in weight, you could really hurt yourself if you're going all the way down.
How much do we think Crane weighs?
Well, he said he lost 48 pounds, so I don't want to speculate on the beginning weight, but Crane, like I said, Crane's a bigger fella. He'll tell you that too.
But Crane is also short.
Very short arms. Yeah, short arms. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's less extension. He also, for him and his weight, he should at least be able to put up one rep, of 135, considering his weight and his short length in his arms, because he is short. So he has actually some advantages going for him. I would be shocked if he went into the gym and struggled to just do one rep of 135. Honestly, he would probably have to go to the doctor because that's a little concerning, to be honest with you. So I think my money would be on Crane, man. I don't know if he's an underdog or what the situation is. But
5-1. DC up 5-1. So
I don't know if this is a good bet, man. This is like JT said, it's not a good bet.
He's just always on the wrong fucking side of math, man. I mean, DC, someone get him an algebra book or something. I mean, I love the guy, but and that's another thing for Crane. I mean, big balls, because usually you make that bet and you say, all right, give me a week or two, whatever. No, it makes that. And he's going to go right in and try it.
That makes me think he can do it. That makes me the fact that he's willing to go in there tomorrow. But again, we're not there yet. He says he's going to the gym tomorrow morning. Now, if we start to hear the excuses, well, it's going to be Monday, then there's, reason for concern. He says he's going tomorrow morning. If the video pops up, I have confidence that he's going to get it done because of the confidence there. But we'll see. It's going down tomorrow morning, supposedly. They're going to live stream it somehow on Twitter. It sounds like a guy is meeting him at the gym to record this. So,
what?
Well, yeah, we're going to get some entertainment tomorrow morning, right out of the gate. Crane,
I mean, I sort of wish there was like an integrity monitor here, right? That would be like an independent person who was going to go in, record it, no matter what the outcome was, posted. I don't feel comfortable because Crane strikes me as a guy who could be a little sneaky. So it's not, again, between the math and everything else, DC.
That would be that'd be a very tough scene though. Just imagine. I mean, I'd feel terrible if, he got it off the, rack and then brought it down and it just got stuck there. Can you imagine that?
You better have a spotter behind him. Scoop it back up.
Dude, if he takes some pre-workout and he gets jacked up, he should be able to pass with flying colors. Like, it's just 135 is light work. Like, that is
but again though, man, do you remember when you first started in the gym? Like, you get down there. I mean, I can still remember, I don't know, when I started lifting like in high school when I was 16, 17, 18. Like, I struggled to get like 95 pounds up. Like, and I was a super skinny dude, like super skinny, Like it never lifted weights. In 95 felt like a freaking 1,000 pounds sitting on me. If you don't lift, I'm telling you, it's tougher than people think. So I don't know. We'll find out though tomorrow morning, supposedly.
I'll say that too, because after every baseball season, I go back into the gym and my routine is normally push-ups for like 6 weeks. Then I'll incorporate bench into that. And the first couple of times I'm at the gym, I'm struggling to get to 100 push-ups just because I haven't done it, not used to it. Maybe, we'll see. Maybe Crane has something here, a little bit of hidden information like that UFC fight a couple of weeks ago. And, he's been doing it and he's like, no problem. I'm going to go in, knock this out, collect my cash. Another loser for DC. We'll see.
What do you guys bench?
So when I go to the gym, I usually leave 135 on. So I'll start with 135 and I just vary the number of reps, and I'll do it like between 15 and 20 times, and then I'll just come all the way down to like 2 or 3 times. So I don't even know what that workout's called. Gotcha. I always do it. So I just put 135 on. I'll do it like 15 to 20, somewhere in that range. Then the next time I'll do 15, then 12, then 10, and go down by 2 all the way till I get down to 1. So that's
like a burn. It's like a burnout. It's like
burnout. Yeah, a burnout. Then some days I'll do dumbbells. Some days I'll do the machine. Like I mix it up a little bit. But if I'm on the bench press, I'll do like the 135, 20 times, I guess. What about you guys? What Randone? Someone in the chat saying 300 for you, Randone, that you can do 300.
No, 2 days ago I put up 265 twice.
Oh, okay.
I can't.
So you can
when I put up 300 when I used to be 300 pounds. I was an offensive lineman, so I could put up 325 when I was 300 pounds. But now I can't even come. There's no way. I weigh like 195, 200 now, so my max is like 265 2 times. So that's not bad.
You were an offensive lineman. How tall are you?
6'2".
So Randone used to be Randone was three spins back in the day.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I was an offensive lineman, and then I was a pitcher, and then I played first base, and I played power forward, and I was athletic. I wasn't like your fat, slow guy. Like I was athletically, putting in work.
I remember you sending one of the pics of you when your big boy weight is that's wild, man.
So not like Refrigerator Perry, 315.
Oh gosh. All right. So we find out tomorrow morning if Crane can do this. I thought it was a good talking point. I mean, I got involved in this conversation early on Twitter, but I can't keep up. There's just so many freaking responses in here that it's over. I had to basically dip out, but we're going to find out tomorrow. I don't even know how it stemmed from something that revolves around a poker, like a professional poker player versus a girl eating chicken nuggets or something. That's how the whole conversation started, because I went back. I was like, how did this thing start? So we'll see what happens tomorrow. All right, we got 11 games on this NBA slate. Obviously, a lot of news that we already have, a lot more news that we're going to get into as well. Before we start talking some hoops, do us a favor, though. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe. Helps us to continue to bring you guys these shows for free on a daily basis, and you get the entertainment, 135 bench press and push-ups and shit like that. So there's more to it than just the like.
If you could hit the like if you could bench 135 pounds. That right.
That's a great one.
Hit the like. Otherwise, you're going down in flames.
Yeah, record numbers today. Got all the tough guys in there, All right, let's get into the slate. Tons of news, as I said, and a lot of news right in the first game as well. We got the Heat and the Wizards, 215 total. Wizard favored by 6.5. And the main thing in this game is the Heat are relatively decimated. No Bam, no Jimmy Butler, no Tyler Hero. No, Dwayne Dedmon is questionable. Duncan Robinson out as well. They're going to be super, super thin. The guys that they do have left out of their main crew, Kyle Lowry, 6.6K. The price came down a little bit. I do like him. You got Caleb Martin, Max Struss, Jamal Cain, and Nikola Jovic. Not Jokic, Jovic, 3.5K, likely to start. And then you got Gabe Vincent as well. 6 or 7 of these guys in play, just a matter of how you use them. And then on the Wizards side, don't have a ton. Beal back in there. They have a lot of options, so likely be off the Wizards. But man, JT, a lot of these Miami Heat guys are in play. What are we doing here?
Definitely in play. Not the usual value situation where you got a lot of 3K guys, because there have been injuries. A lot of these guys are in the 4 to 5K range, even Gabe Vincent in the mid fours. So I think it's an interesting spot because Washington is an okay team generally, probably league average, maybe a little bit lower than that. And Miami missing big pieces. So it's only a 6.5 total last I saw. I expect this game to be competitive. Spoelstra's not like, Steve Kerr or Popovich, some of these other guys that are going to totally punt games. So I think you can go with Lowry. Duncan Robinson was ruled out here as well just a little while ago, leaving them even more thin. So Caleb Martin, who was a game time decision, but he says he's going to play. He's expected to play. So I think 3 of these guys in a lineup is probably the most that I would go with here just because of the pricing, and that allows you to get a nice balanced build here. And then we have to see what happens with Dedmon and Jovic. If Dedmon is somehow ruled out, I mean, the other day was kind of chaotic where he was going to play and then he didn't start. And then when he did hit the floor, he just looked like he was maybe still hurt. So that becomes interesting, but definitely Lowry, Struss, interesting for me. I don't think I'll go to Gabe Vincent. I know it's a spot where he's going to play a bunch of minutes. If he's starting, certainly. But that's kind of my stance on that. And then on the Washington side, I mean, Bradley Beal looked like he's fully over his illness. And you have to be interested, I think, at 8-2 in a matchup against a very, very weak court there for Miami.
Dude in the chat, Christopher Wall said Randone going to be back to 300 in no time, drinking the venti Starbucks. If I think I know Randone like I do, I'm willing to bet you he's not drinking the shit coffee. He's drinking like the almond milk crap. Like he's not into the sugar stuff, right, bud?
Yeah, so no classic. It's just straight black coffee, light ice with just a little bit of almond milk. That's it. So it's like what, 20 calories? It's nothing.
Yeah.
It's food coloring to fuck with the fish.
Yeah, your boy will never go back to 300. I will put money on that for the rest of my life.
Actually, DC might take that bet. DC might take that. Give you a 5-year window that you won't get to 300 at 7-1. His money versus 0.
Oh, good stuff.
Shit. That was
any
great.
interest here in the Heat guys, Randone, and then anything
man.
on the Wizards side?
Yeah, I think if Bam is likely out, obviously you're going to want to maybe be exposed to some starters. Looking at it, Jimmy grades out pretty well tonight. And if Bam doesn't as well, Kyle Lowry probably gets a little bit of a boost. He's rocking a 23% assist rate right now. Jimmy Butler just is pretty solid across the board.
He's out.
Assist. Oh, Jimmy's out?
Yeah, he's
oh, all right.
Yeah, he's out.
I didn't update that in my sheet. Well, then in this case, so Lowry gets even a bigger bump here. I am a little bit cautious of the Jovic and the Dedmon situation. I will say I was on the wrong side of that the last slate. I had Dedmon and I probably just didn't pay attention to it in the final moments for the starting lineup. But I had a lot of exposure to Dedmon, but he just, didn't look, as great in those 16 minutes. I would have probably expected a little bit more production, was 4 for 4 from the field, but I just don't think I want to attack that. But I will say, I do have some interest in Strus, and I do have some interest in Caleb Martin. So I don't mind those two as well. And I think Duncan Robinson being out, like JT said, obviously gives them a little bit more of a boost as well. So I will say though, maybe I would consider Gabe Vincent only because with those guys off the floor, he does have a 22% assist rate. And I mean, if he can get 20 minutes at 4,600, right now, what I'm looking at, he could grade out for 22 to 23 fantasy points. Wouldn't mind it, but I think once again, I could probably look elsewhere. And then on the other side of things, the same guys, Beal, Kuzma, Porzingis, I'm totally okay with. Although so far, I ran 500 lineups. They didn't really populate much in any optimals. So, but on the other side, you get a couple of Heat guys when you do run the optimizer a little bit. So depending upon your projections, of course. But yeah, as far as the Washington side, you can play them. I don't mind it. But as far as like an optimal lineup perspective, I just don't know if I'm going to garner much exposure to them.
Yeah, someone in the chat asked about Jamal Cain. Yeah, he's kind of popping in projections. He's 3K. I'd only play him if he starts, though, to be honest with you. I know a lot of people say, oh, it's fine if he comes off the bench. No, I want a guy like him starting because he hasn't played a ton of minutes up to date so far, only 6 minutes last game. If he's starting, he's going to be probably forced into like that 20-minute range, and at 3K you take that. So I only want him if he's starting. This is the standalone 7 p.m. Eastern games. We will have the news, which is nice because it's probably the most important spot in terms of injury. And then in tournaments, probably only want like 3 of these guys. But there's, especially if you're doing a lot of lineups, it's easy to get exposure to all of them, kind of mix and match which ones you play. But there's no doubt about it, a couple of these guys, if not more, will be getting there tonight for sure, just because of this injury situation. It's the most depleted team on this slate. We have the Hornets, we have the Cavs, 221 total. Cavs favored by 9.5 in this game, and more injury news, more so on the Hornet side. Dennis Smith Jr. is doubtful, Gordon Hayward questionable, and then LaMelo Ball is out. On the Cleveland side, the only bit of news that we're waiting on is Jarrett Allen, and if he's in, I like him actually at 6.5K, the only guy really on the Cavs that I'm considering. And then over on the Hornets, I want to see who starts if Gordon Hayward's out. Could get another cheap option in Theo Maladone if he gets in there at 3.9K. Terry Rozier, the price is up there, but this is a team that is obviously dealing with some injuries. The 7.9K price tag, not the greatest, but I don't mind it. I'd be willing to go there. Nice for him. He's shooting guard and small forward eligible. Small forward's kind of crappy on the slate, so I do like that as well. So 2 favorite plays here, definitely gonna be like Rozier and then Allen if he's in. We'll stick with you, Randone. Thoughts here on Hornets and Cavs?
Yeah, from the Cavs side, I like your call on Jarrett Allen. He does show up as one of the best plays if you do go to the Cavs team. Everyone else, though, not really too much excitement. I don't know if I'm going to get there, but on the Charlotte side, if Hayward does sit, I think I'm okay to go with the OKC prodigy, like you said, and Theo Maladon. For me, if he gets 22, 25 minutes, he does actually grade out pretty well. If he gets, 22, 25 fantasy points at 3,900, I'm okay with that. So, but obviously there's always upside for more, but I do like that. I do like Terry Rozier. He actually grades out very well tonight, and he is showing up in a lot of runs in my lineups as far as the optimizers. So probably stick to those 2. But if Allen is out, then I would go back to Mobley because it is a great matchup. I do like this opportunity for him, and that's only if Allen sits, though. If Allen plays, I think I would probably not have as much exposure to Mobley, but I think that's it for this game.
Yeah, glad you covered that. That was a question in the chat. Yeah, definitely Mobley. If Allen's out, go right to Mobley. There's no doubt about that. But if Allen's in, I would not be playing Evan Mobley. JT, what do you got here in this one?
Yeah, same as you guys on the Charlotte side with Rozier. Kelly Oubre is 6'8", and he has been taking about 20 shots when these guys have been out. If Hayward is in, I have no interest in him, and it would lower my interest overall. But I do like Rozier here. And then on the Cleveland side, same thing. Jarrett Allen, if he's in, definitely going to play him. If he's out, I'm definitely going to play Evan Mobley.
Like that call. Keep it moving here. We got the Bucks. We got the 76ers. 211.5 total. Philadelphia favored by 1. And to me, this is one of those games from an entertainment standpoint. Yeah, for sure. I want to see, Giannis versus Embiid. Fantasy-wise, though, there's not a lot here for me. Giannis at 12.6, I just don't think it's necessary on the slate. Drew Holiday was just recently ruled in. If he were to be out, then yeah, let's take a look at Giannis. But as it stands now with Holiday in there, I don't see myself playing any Bucks. And a lot of the secondary guys are still priced up from their time without Giannis or Drew on the court. So nothing for me on the Bucks side. On the 76ers side, it's just going to be Embiid, the only guy I'm interested in. 71 fantasy points against Atlanta, and then he had that 100 fantasy point game against Utah. So yeah, I'd be looking to get a little bit of him in MME, but no core plays here or anything for me. Just Embiid, like I said. JT, thoughts here in this one?
Yeah, the only thing that I made a note of was that Tobias Harris was a midday downgrade to questionable, and so George Niang, if he started, was 4.1, and he could drop some threes here. But with all the other value, I just don't think I'll get there. So this game's probably a cross-off for me.
Randone, anything for you here?
Yeah, Milwaukee doesn't grade out well at all from a tournament standpoint. So I think that's like an easy X for me. I mean, even when it comes to Giannis. So I think on the other side, though, don't mind Tyrese Maxey. I'm willing to take, a little bit of shares there. I will say also, if Tobias is out too, I'd probably expose myself a little bit more to some Tyrese Maxey shares as well. I'd probably be a little bit overweight on him. And Embiid, I mean, I think I will have some Embiid. It's just crazy, man, seeing that 100 fantasy point score in the last game. It's just wild. But
Yeah.
I definitely will probably have just a couple of Embiid shares, just because, I mean, he does have the upside to get the 70+ burger. And, I know people don't like to really roster someone after coming off such a game like that, but, he can dominate the paint here. So I don't mind it.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't think anyone's saying, all right, this guy's going back-to-back 100, but on this slate, if he gets you, 60, you take it. So 71, 100 fantasy points in his last two. The guy's kind of feeling it right now. I definitely want some exposure to him in GPPs. Magic Bulls 221 total. Bulls favored by 8.5 in this game. The injury news here: no Cole Anthony, no Paolo on the Orlando side, and then the Bulls are kind of rounding into full health. I think a few plays here. Franz Wagner is 6.9K, and that price isn't great, but again, small forward on DraftKings is not very good. And he's safe. He's a safe option. He's going to play minutes. He does a lot on the court. So he would be my favorite on the Orlando side. On the Bulls side, I really like the price tag for Nikola Vucevic. If you are a believer in revenge games and that sort of thing, well, this is a revenge game for him, going against his former team, the Orlando Magic, and he's only 7.1K. That's about as cheap of a price tag as you're going to see on Vucevic. So in on him at 7.1. And then Zach LaVine at 7.3 is just, to me, like a nice high floor type of play. I mean, you look at his last, 4 games here, he's going to play mid-30s in terms of minutes. He's going to shoot the ball about 20 times, which is nice. And he does enough in the peripheral stats to get the job done. 44 fantasy points, 39, 34, 36. I just kind of view him as a nice floor option at 7.3K. So Vucevic and LaVine on the Bulls side, Franz Wagner on the Magic side. That's most likely about it for me. Random, what do you got here?
Yeah, I like the call on going with either LaVine or Vucevic. They really grade out well tonight. I got LaVine for 35 minutes, Vucevic for 33, and both at that like 40 fantasy point mark tonight. I wouldn't play them together, but I would play one or the other. And then my third option would probably be DeRozan in that situation. And then on the flip side, for Orlando, I do like Jalen Suggs. I do like Bol Mo Bamba, and then even Franz Wagner. I mean, for tournament plays, these are great tournament plays, and obviously they're going to soak up a lot of minutes because this team just is not healthy at the moment. And so a lot of this usage, a lot of these minutes are going to these guys mainly. And Suggs is looking pretty solid, especially last game. He was kind of doing everything with the ball. He was rebounding, he was throwing assists, he was also scoring. I think he took his most shots of the season. If I'm not mistaken, he took 17 shots, which was a season high. So clearly he's a ball handler. I don't mind that at all, especially at 6,100. Now, it's obviously not the best as far as defensive matchup for him, but I will say, though, the usage is there, and he's a playmaker. So I don't mind that as well. And I think, like I mentioned before, the big guys, I think you could take one or the other, Mbamba or Bol. I don't mind that either for GBP play.
JT, thoughts here?
Yeah, sorry. I think for me on the Chicago side, these guys, especially when they're all healthy, their prices always come down and they look too cheap. And it's hard to see any of them getting there. I agree with Randone that I would just play one of those guys, but the guys that I circled due to more position scarcity were DeRozan at 8K and then Vuk at 7.1. Those prices look pretty good. Nice 40-point floors there.
All right, we'll keep it moving here. If you have not done so, please do us that favor. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe. Let's see, we got 500 watching, 215 likes. JT, what are we doing here in terms of likes? What do we need to get to for the plays of the day?
Man, it's Friday, and we started out with a good segment, and we know it's good because Butthole Jenkins didn't like it. So let's go with 325.
Good number, 325. So we need to get to 325 to get to the plays of the day. And I always say it on Friday night. If there is a day that you're, if you're someone that doesn't like hitting the like button and you're holding out, you're grumpy sitting there, Friday's the day that you want to hit the like button. Just really good mojo. You get the Eiffel Tower play of the day. It's been a long run. I mean, this has been going, 2 years now with the Eiffel Tower play of the day on Friday. Just a great way to roll into the weekend with that nice little Eiffel Tower session there. So make sure you hit the likes so you can get those plays of the day. We have the Pacers, we have the Rockets. Total in this game is 236.5. Indiana favored by 5. Few plays here. I mean, you look at the total and you'd think there'd be more, but to me, there's only a few. I mean, a lot of it's price related. Like Halliburton at 9.2. I like Halliburton, but 9.2. That's a big price tag. Miles Turner is shot up to 7.3. Tough to get there for me. I got Kevin Porter and Jalen Green on the Rockets are my favorite plays here. Porter at 7.5, Jalen Green at 6.5. If this game does stay close, I have to imagine one of those two kind of have that big game. So those are the two I'm looking at here. Not much else. Randone, thoughts on the Pacers and Rockets?
Yeah, I mean, I love Jalen Green tonight. I think his price is more than appropriate. He's going to play high into the 30s. Usage is there, takes a ton of shots. I'm okay with that. And, him and Porter are probably for me must plays in my player pool. And then I don't mind a little bit of Sengun because he is grading out well. He is showing up a little bit in regards to running lineups. So, if he takes double-digit shots and, he's there in the paint, opportunity to get a double-double, totally don't mind that as well. I don't know about, maybe a couple shares of Eric Gordon. He is 4K. But if he does play like 30 minutes at 4K, and if he can make some shots, I don't mind that for a tournament play. But the other side of the ball, I know Halliburton's price is, it's up there, but I do like him tonight. This is going to be a pace up spot. This is a great total. I mean, it's almost 240, man. I mean, 236, 237 total. He can have a lot of upside here. Especially with these Houston guards. So, but I will say that if Kevin Porter doesn't play, I'm probably just going to lock in Jalen Green, regardless. So, but if KPJ does play, he'll be in, obviously I'm going to play him and Green. I don't know if I'll play them together, but one or the other, in regards to that. And then, Miles Turner's price is going up more now, but he was in a great matchup last game against Charlotte, I believe. He crushed that spot. I really liked him then. But I don't know if I like him too much in this situation. And then maybe you can consider some shares of Jalen Smith. I just wish he would be like in the 30-minute range. At 5K, I would like him to play 30 minutes. But he does kind of grade and project out well tonight. And he is showing up a little bit as far as, lineups. So I don't mind that play either. But yeah, that's pretty much for me from this game.
Yeah, I looked at Jalen Smith too. It's like I either want like a few more minutes or like a little bit less on the price tag. It just seems like something's off just a little bit. I put him on the cash chart as an option, but I don't love him by any means. JT, thoughts here on the Pacers Rockets?
Yeah, they do have a lot of big guys in Indiana that they'll interchange, and that cuts his minutes down a little bit. Yeah. On the Indiana side, the guy I like here, and I know the price is high, 9.2, but this is just one of the best matchups for opposing point guards, and I don't see a way that Houston's going to stop Halliburton in this matchup. So I like him quite a bit. As Randall mentioned, Porter is questionable. I like Jalen Green either way. If Porter is in, I still like Jalen Green. I probably won't go to Porter just because of the other options on this slate that I like more. And then he mentioned Eric Gordon, which is, Eric Gordon's always a disgusting play, but the price is always down, is down now to 4K, where he's been shooting poorly. This isn't an Indiana team that's really going to challenge him at the perimeter. So I like taking some shots, just a couple on Gordon, just because it's such a good pivot off of some of these other popular spots where guys are playing at that position due to injury.
He also went to Indiana. Let's not forget that. So,
yeah,
revenge narrative is just a joke, but
Yeah, return to the hometown for sure. So
No. It's in Houston, but it's
just it is in Houston. I thought you were saying, yeah, got you. Yeah.
Just when he sees the word Indiana.
Yeah, it's just the word. He just has to see the word for the revenge to kick in. Right?
He's gonna feel like
triggering.
Goddamn young Hardwood tonight.
Yeah. Super vengeful for sure. So we got the Thunder, we got the Grizzlies, 230.5 total. Memphis favored by 6.5 in this game. And man, I mean, the one thing that definitely stands out, SGA, I mean, just a phenomenal start to the season. I mean, the guy's on an absolute tear fantasy wise. 5 out of his last 6 games with at least 53 fantasy points, got 50, 58, 53. 63, 59, 62, just doing a little bit of everything. I mean, if Thunder keep these games close, he's almost a lock to go off. In terms of his teammates, it's just SGA for me on the Thunder side. On the Grizzlies side, Ja Morant is obviously a solid option, kind of like pairing those two together a little bit in some tournament teams. If you're hand building, get a little back and forth there. Jaren Jackson came back and played 25 minutes. Shot the ball like shit, 3 for 14. Still got 23 fantasy points, which isn't great, but if he shoots a little bit better, he's right there around 30, which is kind of what we're looking for. And I think Dylan Brooks is cheap on FanDuel. Yeah, he's cheap on FanDuel, shooting guard and small forward eligible. So like him a little bit over there. We'll stick with you, Cedum. Thoughts here on this one?
Yeah, I think Dylan Brooks probably must play on FanDuel. I mean, he's 5K. The upside is just crazy. He's going to take 8 to 10 threes tonight. He gets those extra threes with Bane off the floor. He gets a bump, but I don't mind him on DraftKings as well. He's grading out pretty well. I will say though, gonna probably play a lot of Jaren Jackson Jr. He had to get his feet wet last game. Obviously, it's his first game of the season. This guy's a stud though. This is a great matchup for him. He took 14 shots, like you said. He only made 3 of them. He still scored 24 fantasy points. He only made 3 shots, So if he makes just a couple more and knocks down a 3 or 2, I mean, we're talking about a 30-point game. I'm totally fine with that. And, people might, who knows about ownership in regards to, minute restriction, whatever the case may be. But he's in a great spot. And he's actually grading out pretty well tonight. So I love Jaren Jackson. And then SGA, he's still under 10K. So you know what? This is probably gonna be the last game that he's gonna be under 10K. Might as well take advantage of it. Obviously a solid play. Ja Morant's in a great spot. Can't hate against Ja Morant either. And then you could play some Steven Adams if you want. 5,300. Gonna play 27, 28 minutes, possible 30-point, fantasy point game. Got to consider him for GPPs. So I think that's kind of where I'm going in regards to tonight's matchup.
People in the chat must be catching up because they're shocked that you once weighed 300 pounds, but it shows you, man, if you're someone that's overweight, there's a path forward. There's a path to get out of it. And look at this beautiful gentleman on the show, once 300 pounds, now just look at him. I mean, you just sight to see.
Put in work,
sure.
Man. Yeah, put in work.
Yeah. JT, what do you got here in this Thunder Grizzlies game?
There's a lot to like in this game, but first, Draft Sheet bet us $1,000 that we couldn't get to 325 likes. So go ahead and hit that like button, and let's see DC send us the cash. And
the other part of that is, you said if we get to 325, he's going to the gym and he's putting the 260 on the rail, like Randone said he could do. DC said he's going to do it 5 times tomorrow. So,
there we go. Yeah. Perfect. Ja and SGA in tournaments, one or the other, very, very good spot here. But Randone said it, just a great spot for Jaren Jackson Jr., second game back. The thing that stands out to me more than the fact that he only made 3 shots is that he actually took 14. I mean, this guy at 5'6", taking 14 shots, probably takes a few more in this matchup, is a guy that I want in my lineup. So I like Jaren Jackson Jr. here quite a bit. Brooks is okay. No Bane. The price 6.4 on DraftKings. You guys said it. It's a little better on FanDuel. Still thinks he's okay in tournaments, but I'll probably go elsewhere on DK. But Jaren Jackson Jr. is one of the first guys that I wrote down today at that price in this matchup.
Yeah. 3 for 14. If he hits a few more shots, we're good. We're in the 30s. Daniel Mardoff. Randone, I'm not gay, but man, he looks good. Oh, good comments in the chat. All right, we got the Celtics, we got the Pelicans, 230 total. Boston favored by 2.5 in this game. And this is going to be one of those games that, man, it looks nice on paper, the 230 total, close spread, but I just don't see any pieces here that I have interest in. You know, Zion is listed as questionable. If he were to miss, maybe we can take a look at a couple of these guys like McCollum or Ingram or Valanciunas. But if he's in there, I have no interest. There's just no pieces for me in this one. I mean, Jason Tatum at 10-8. Yeah, I like Tatum. I think he's a good player. I'm not paying 10-8 for him on this slate. Maybe you could talk yourself into some Jaylen Brown. But for me, this game is going to be a fade. You can't play them all. So I'm off this game. JT, thoughts here?
Yeah, the one guy that I like is Jaylen Brown. Price is down to 8.5, and he's not going to be owned. Going to be very low ownership there, so I like that because this is a slate where you're going to be playing some guys that are going to be in the 30% range in terms of ownership. It's just the way it's going to shake out. And so Brown is one of these guys that I want to mix into my lineups because I think he's got upside here in this spot, and I don't think anybody's going to be on him really.
Randon, any interest in the Celtics or Pelicans?
I mean, I'm only going back to Brown because he screwed me over last game. And so like I have to just play a couple shares of him. It's just one of those things that I always do. He was in foul trouble a little bit. He had no assists for the first time this season. Just one of those games where didn't reach expectations for me. So he is 8,500, but he does have the upside, and it actually is a good spot for him. But other than that, though, I'm not really liking anything else. I mean, I think the other pieces and the more I'm going into the slate, I really like that Indiana-Houston game that we talked about. And, you know, so for me, this is probably just going to be a fade game outside of, you know, Jaylen Brown, some shares. And that's just a personal thing for me.
Yeah, TB12 in the chat talking about intermediate fasting. That shit works. I mean, I just do that. It's like a lifestyle for me where I don't eat breakfast. I'll eat lunch around noon and then have dinner at 6, and then that's it. So you just eat, you know, in small periods. I eat all my food between 12 and 6, and then that's it. And it's a good way to keep weight off. You don't necessarily have to do it to lose weight. You do any of that, Randon?
Every morning I wake up at 5:30 and I do fasted cardio. So I kick off my day with 30 to 45 minutes of some form of cardio. Majority of the time it's HIIT. Then I hit to weighted core. I come home, I have like this healthy green drink, and then I'm back to the gym actually for like another 45 minutes to an hour. And then
you're doing 2 a days.
Yeah, I do 2. I have to every day. I do 2 a day. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm getting a little bit older. So, you know, for me, I want to keep my body young. I want to keep my mind fresh. And to be honest with you, it's a game changer. Like every day I feel like ready to rip once 7:30, 8 o'clock comes. Like no stress, no issues. Like I just gratitude. Yeah, I love it.
I mean, JT, you're what, 36 years old? And I mean, you look great for your age. So how do you do it?
I'm 36. I'm 49, man.
Damn.
Yeah. Randona's like, damn, you're an old fucker.
Not 49 solid, man.
Yeah, it is.
Well, when you look like JT, it is.
No doubt. No,
yeah, at least you're moving your body.
What I do is very similar to you. No breakfast. Like I'll have a yogurt in the morning, if that. Except on like, you know, Saturdays, weekends.
I'm the same. I do the same thing. It's funny. Yeah.
But and then lunch I eat around midday, and then once I have dinner, like I don't really snack at all. I just probably when I gave up drinking more of the soda, I started eating berries during the day, and that's when I was just like I wasn't even trying to lose weight because I was fine with where I was, but I did lose like 10 pounds right away. And that's it. So I don't really eat. I don't drink anything other than, you know, water, beer,
Coors Light,
Coke every now and then. And that's it. And then workout. I try and almost every day. It's not like Randon 2 a days. I wish I had the time. I would love to do that. But 3 to 4 days a week on the weights, push-ups, stuff like that. And then 2 to 3 with cardio, which is mostly at this point, what I do is mostly sprinting, sets of sprinting, because I'm not trying to run marathons. It's just trying to get that heart rate up, get your body used to that type of workout. So, and it's worked out well.
Yeah. Matthew Hawkins, JT is a brick house. I've been with JT on a couple of occasions, and he's a solid dude. Like if I saw JT, I would. You don't want to fuck with JT. Let's just put it that way. JT is a guy that you do not want to fuck with. he's a strong motherfucker. I can guarantee you that. So yes, brick house analogy. I think someone's a little confused here. I remember when JT was on The Bachelorette. I think you got the two hosts here confused. That JT was not on The Bachelorette. Randone was.
That was a great season.
Maybe soon. We'll see. Who knows? Big T is upset by the workout talk going into the weekend. No problem.
Yeah.
It's all
Big
right.
T, he gets his workouts on the workbench. So Big T's in there for about 3 minute workout per week, essentially. That's kind of what he's going with.
97 seconds.
97 seconds. JT does sprints on the track. Big T does sprints on the workbench. So that's kind of where we're at. And the camera collapsed. The camera goes down.
God.
We are getting some news on the slate. We'll get back on track. Dwayne Dedman is out, and then Gabe Vincent is now listed as questionable. So that would completely kind of deplete what the Miami Heat have going on. I mean, the number of bodies they have would be very, very limited.
Yeah,
someone maybe can get on that, but yeah, I mean, they might only have like 8 guys or something tonight, so I'd have to load up even more in that spot. So something to monitor.
We might have to go to some weird random G League guys that are about to be 3K. So I mean,
I don't even know if they're up though. I don't know if they're even up. I think they got to roll with. I think they honestly might have 8 bodies.
So let's talk through this though, because I think that becomes important. Earlier we were talking about wanting to limit yourself to 3 of these Heat guys because of the prices on the main guys. Now, I think you're looking at almost locking in Jovic, right? And then maybe playing 3 of these guys. I mean, it is an 11-game slate, and I don't normally, on these big slates, I normally only like to go too deep, but I don't know. What do you think?
You'd have to do more. I mean, these guys they're just going to have to play like 30. I mean, the main guys will play mid 30s, upper 30s, and then these, crappy dudes will have to play into the 20s. So you'd have to load up. I mean, Gabe Vincent news is substantial. I mean, it's very important. Good thing is 7 p.m. Eastern game, first game on the slate, standalone 7 p.m. Eastern game. We're going to have the news. You're going to have the time to deal with it. The Up to Lock guys will probably get that news. I believe it's a different crew. I don't think JSU is on. I know it's Big T, Holden, and Rubio on that Up to Lock show. So make sure you tune in to that. They'll have you guys covered. But yeah, the number of Heat guys that you play in the same lineup is probably going up a little bit now.
Yeah.
Might have to roll with some Jamal Cain. He's played like 8 minutes, 7.5 fantasy points, almost a fantasy point per minute in his 2 NBA games. So if he can play 23, 25 minutes, might as well, man. This is like deja vu. This happened last year, the year before, Miami, the same thing. All their starters, everyone was out, and like people were running 3 or 4 man lineups with 4 Miami guys in it. So, and it won. So I wouldn't be surprised if that happens tonight.
Yeah. Someone, what was the count? I may fade Lowry because he's got to be the first off the floor in a blowout. The spread's still only 6.5. It's not like Miami is projected to get smoked. Their team's depleted, but they're still only 6.5 point underdog. So I wouldn't be worried about the blowout.
The thing with the Kane play though is then you're going to 2 of what? I mean, Ja, SGA, Steph. If you want Embiid, I don't love Embiid or Giannis in this spot.
Halliburton,
definitely.
Yeah, there you go.
So I guess you play 4 of those Heat guys. You get Halliburton, one of those 2 guys, maybe Steph Curry later on.
The people responded, JT, 330 likes already, and we still have 4 games left. That's easy. I mean, whatever you said worked out perfectly because they got the job done. That doesn't mean to stop hitting the like because we'd like to continue on and get those numbers up. So
no, but as I always tell them, what it means is if you hit the number, we stop asking. We stop asking for likes, and we just get right into the content. So it's a natural, interruption that just goes away. So thank you very much.
Yep. Next game, Nuggets, Mavs, 215.5 total. Dallas favored by 9. Another game with significant injury news. Jamal Murray out on the Denver side. Nikola Jokic out on the Denver side. Ish Smith doubtful. Then Aaron Gordon questionable. This team is very thin right now as well. Not as thin as Miami, but close. And then on the Mav side, nothing substantial. I don't think it's going to be a Luka night for me. I just prefer some of these other guys. I think I like SGA more. I think I want Morant more. I think I want Embiid more. So I won't be on Jokic all that much. And then on the Nugget side, we have some guys to consider. Bones Highland at 5K, I think very strong option. He played 22 minutes last game, finished with 35 fantasy points. The guy can ball. Michael Porter Jr. has been, I'd say, like disappointing as of late. The minutes are always a concern, so maybe a little bit of him. Really want to see who starts here. I know Bones is a clear play for me. I'll have a lot of him, but that's almost it for me in this game. Nothing on Dallas side. Bones, and then I need to see who's starting for Denver. Randone, thoughts here?
Yeah, probably Bones. I would have to see who starts for Denver. The Nuggets are going to be missing a ton of players. So maybe Bruce Brown, Bones Highland. I don't mind them. Probably look at the front court because there could be some good value. So, like, I don't know if you guys have seen, but there's this guy, Zeke Najani, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, that's exactly how you say it.
Yeah. So homeboy played 26 minutes last game. 5 of 7, scored 19 fantasy points, 3,200. So if you want to pivot from, let's say, the Jovic and the other guys from Miami, this could be a guy that maybe won't get as much ownership if that's the case. And so you have to kind of decide, okay, where do I want to go in regards to value? So I don't mind that as well. But other than that, I mean, like from the Mavs side, maybe Luka, and then that's it. So yeah, Porter Jr. I don't know if I can go back to the tank after last game. I mean, this dude prevented me from cashing across the board everywhere. Yeah. So just ridiculous. So I could care less about him at this point.
Yeah. The range of outcomes it's always been the case. It's all over the map. I mean, and when it's off, I mean, it's like way off. I mean, you're 11 fantasy points in 2 out of the last 3 games, or 12 and 11. Like, man, like it's a rough scene for Porter Jr. So yeah, I mean, with all these guys out, you'd think there'd be more clear plays, but just really, there's not. JT, what are you seeing here in this one?
Yeah, Bones, and then maybe Bruce Brown at 5-4, pending the Aaron Gordon news. The Aaron Gordon news is going to give us a window into what's going on here, and starters as well. I mean, like Randone says, if he starts Zeke over DeAndre Jordan, maybe some interest in him. I'm not interested in DeAndre Jordan. I don't think we need him. Need to take that risk with the Miami value.
Mm-hmm. Got the Suns, we got the Jazz, 228 total. Phoenix favored by 2.5 in this one. Chris Paul just got ruled out. I think that was kind of the expectation. Problem is the price tags on some of these Suns guys. Got Cameron Payne all the way up to 6'8". Booker's now up to 9'4". DeAndre Ayton sucks at 6'2", and he continues to pop in these projections. All the projections continue to put him up there, and I just think you're better off fading him more times than not. So nothing really for me on the Sun side. And then on the Jazz side, probably the same. I don't really love anything. I mean, I'll keep Kelly Olynyk in my player pool just because of the upside. I think there is some real big upside with him. Jared Vanderbilt, after a hot start, has kind of cooled off a little bit, and the minutes have come down as well. Lauri Markkanen, the price is way up there at 7.7. Don't really want to go there. So my favorite Jazz guy would be Olynyk. And I think I'm just fading the Suns. So this game is mostly a fade for me outside of Olynyk. JT, what do you got here in this one?
The Jazz give up so many fantasy points, though. I mean, I know that DeAndre Ayton scarred everybody last time out, 6-1 against the Warriors, and he did nothing. I understand that. But remember, you talked about Joel Embiid getting 100 fantasy points. Who was it against? It was against the Utah Jazz.
Yeah,
so
good point.
I mean, it's a good spot, and I'm not going to let recency bias keep me from playing perhaps some DeAndre Ayton. And then I do like Devin Booker. I disappointed a little bit last game, but these Utah guys can't stop anybody. I think this is a spot where you see a lot of fantasy points. And I like them, and I like to call on Olynyk because I went back and I added him after looking at what centers have been doing the other night. Jericho Sims and Julius Randle combined for nearly 100 fantasy points between the two of them. So I think that's a good spot here as well.
Big T's in the chat with his pants off based on your comment before when Randone was pronouncing the dude's name.
Yeah.
casually throw, yep, that's exactly how you pronounce it.
I mean, you got to back your guys. You got to back your guys. I mean,
Exactly.
Shit, I thought it was right. I thought I said it right.
It was. It is.
When you never want to be that guy in a meeting with coworkers when your coworker says something and you're like, oh no, that's wrong. That's not wrong. That's wrong. That's not right. No, you don't do that. You say, yeah, exactly. And then later on, if you have to go back with an email and say, hey, we made a small error, blah, blah, blah. Bottom line, everybody, it's exactly the way you fucking pronounce it. Good job, Randall.
Thank you.
Randone, any interest in the Suns, Jazz?
I mean, Ayton's in a great matchup, so I'll have to take a gamble on a few shares. And then I do like Booker with CP out. But other than that, I think I'm okay with this game.
All right. 2 more games. The likes have exceeded the required number, but again, we can always do better. The viewer numbers are coming up. We got 665, 350 on the like. So do us that favor. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Knicks, Warriors, 234.5 total. Warriors favored by 7.5. So big team total here for the Warriors, about over 120. Some interest in Steph. I mean, he's coming off a massive game himself. Wow, Gabe Vincent now ruled out. Wow, that's
wow.
We'll have to see
too much.
Gotta find the tweet because someone will have it out there with the available players for the Miami Heat. I think it's gonna be 8. Maybe 8, unless there's guy
have 8 if Vincent was ruled out. But now there's a thing saying Bam is unlikely to play, which leads me to think maybe Bam is going to be active.
Maybe he does play. Yeah, because I think that could get them. Yeah, because I'm seeing only 7 guys on the roster. So we'll have it covered in Discord and Up to Lock and on Twitter. If we see something, it'll get retweeted. Yeah, they're saying there's only 7. You have to have 8, right? Or is that still the rule?
8 is the rule. Yeah.
So
JSU
something to monitor.
Everything. JSU will have everything.
Yeah, something to monitor for sure. Again, though, the nice thing is that it's the standalone 7 p.m. Eastern. Imagine if that was like a 10 p.m. Eastern game. That would be a disaster, but this one's right out of the gate, so should have the news. For the Knicks Warriors, Steph I'm interested in. Maybe a little bit of Klay Thompson. Let's see, the tweet just come out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so they have 7 guys. And then Bam is unlikely. So I think you might be onto something. Maybe they just dress Bam and don't play him. That's probably what ends up happening here. Yeah. Either way, you need a lot of Heat guys tonight. There's no way around it. A little bit of interest in Klay Thompson. I mean, shooting the ball a ton, 16, 17 shots, not really going down. If he gets hot, I think he could definitely win a slate. Small forward eligible too. We talked about it a couple times. Small forward sucks. So I have interest in him, but really for me, it's just those 2, and I won't be playing the Knicks tonight. Randone, any interest in the Knicks or Warriors?
Yeah, Steph Curry, and I'll make it simple. I mean, from the Knicks side, I think Brunson and Barrett are a little too cheap, given their projection and upside. So Brunson and Barrett from the Knicks, I don't mind playing in GPP. And then, obviously Steph Curry.
JT, any Knicks or who are they playing? Knicks or Warriors?
Yeah. Really same as Randone. Yeah, like Steph here. Maybe a little Klay Thompson for me as well, though that probably changes with this Miami news. That's the thing here, right? How are you going to build? And it makes it difficult even to get anybody on the Knicks side with that type of build. It looks like it's going to be Miami, and then you're kind of 8 to 10 guys, maybe a Jaren Jackson in there. So probably nothing on the Knicks for me.
Yep. All right, last game, we have the Pistons. We have the Lakers, 226 total. Lakers favored by 7 in this game. And I have some interest in some Pistons, guys. I've been playing Bojan Bogdanovic. He was the Rich Parents play of the day a few nights ago, got the job done. He just continues to be a nice high floor play with upside, and the price really has not come up all that much. 5.8K, small forward eligible, power forward eligible. I really like Bojan here again. Today, I don't think there's anyone on the Pistons that can, or on the Lakers that can really slow him down. He's been phenomenal. In on him, in on Jaden Ivey, Sadiq Bey as well, 5.3K. I like him. Lakers side, much tougher. Maybe some LeBron, maybe some Anthony Davis. especially in 150 type builds. I'd like to get some exposure to those guys, but yeah, more interest in the Pistons guys though. So that's kind of where I'm at in this one. Randone, any Pistons or Lakers for you?
Yeah, I like the call on Jaden Ivey and Sadiq Bey, especially with Cade out. Don't mind them at all here. And then I don't mind, a few shares in tournament play of Killian Hayes and Marvin Bagley. They both project out pretty well tonight, might get upwards of 28, 29 minutes, possibly 30. So I don't mind them at all as far as cheap plays, especially if you're trying to fit in cheaper guys opposed to where everyone else is going. And then from the Lakers side, I think I'm only going to rock with Anthony Davis if I decide to even go there. So that's it for me.
JT, what do you got here in this one?
Yeah, it looks like Thomas Bryant and Dennis Schroeder are available and are going to make their Lakers season debut here tonight. So I think that's going to mess with these rotations. I don't like what Ham is doing with that. So probably not going to play any of the Lakers. I mean, Davis all the way up to 10-2 on DraftKings. On the other side, I like Jaden Ivey a little bit. I liked Killian Hayes a little bit before all this news. And then the guy Randall mentioned was Marvin Bagley. Detroit on a back-to-back. He played 22 minutes last night, and I think that means he's going to play closer to 30 tonight. 4.7K on DraftKings in this matchup against Los Angeles. Like I said, Bryant's back, but I think he could play pretty well here. Still don't know if you are going to need him with this new construction that we're going to have.
Yeah. So as it stands now, the Miami Heat, like we said, there's 7 guys that are in. Guess it basically comes down to Bam. In terms of whether or not they can play the game. I don't know exactly how the rules work in the NBA, but yeah, you need 8 guys. They currently have 7. Bam is unlikely to play. Have to imagine they want to get this one in. I'm assuming maybe Bam dresses, but doesn't play. We have to see. I mean, it's very important to monitor this situation because it's the most important spot for this slate now. So 7 p.m. Eastern game. The news should come out. We'll be in Discord. We'll be on Twitter. We'll be on the Up to Lock show, the premium product over at Run Pure Sports. The guys will be breaking it down. Big T, Rubio, and Holden. You guys did great on the likes. Time to get to the plays of the day. I'm going to go first. I'm going to get mine out of the way. The rich parents play of the day, clear the way for the big dogs here. I'm going back to my guy, Bojan Bogdanovic. I mean, he's 5.8K. I like him on DK with that three-point bonus. You look at the shots, 15, 12, 18, mid-30s in terms of minutes. 3-pointers, 3, 2, 2 his last couple games. Kind of hitting those peripherals as well. 41 fantasy points, 30, 38 in his last 3. Bojan Bogdanovic, rich parents play of the day. Obviously, I like all those Heat guys as well, but we're no Heat guys in the plays of the day. How about that? We'll keep it above board. All right, let's go to our guy Randone first. Is there an official name yet for your player? We're just kind of, is it like the coffee shop play of the day or something like that?
I think people were saying like pretty boy play of the day.
I like coffee shop better.
I like coffee shop play of the day, but I mean, it's all good. But yeah, I think for me, I'm not going to say anyone from Miami either. I'm going to go with Jaren Jackson Jr. tonight as my play of the day. I really like his price point on DK, 25 minutes, his first game of the season, took 14 shots, only made 3, but still came down with 23.5 fantasy points. The defensive upside is there, as we know. He's a monster when it comes to defense. If he just knocks down a few threes, I mean, he was 0 for 7 from 3. So this is a great spot for him. I'm gonna go ahead and run with him. And Jaren Jackson Jr. is my play of the day.
Love it. Now, lastly, we head on Air France. We're heading over to Paris for that Eiffel Tower play of the day. JT, who do you got for us?
Yeah, it was going to be Jaylen Brown because I felt pretty strongly about a bounce back from him in this spot. But now I think it's going to force me to go up a little bit, pay up a little bit more. And I like this spot for Devin Booker. Not a great shooting night the other night, priced up just a little bit more. This Jazz team gives up so many fantasy points, so many points to guards. I think it's going to be a great night for Devin Booker. He is the Air France sponsored Eiffel Tower play.
Love to see it. As I said a few minutes ago, Up to Lock show coming up here shortly. Big T, Rubio, Holden, breaking down all the news. They'll take you up to lock. Make sure you're in that Discord if you are a member, because the news is continuing to break on the slate. We're going to get a lot more before the slate tips off. So make sure you get in that Discord as well. But that's going to do it here for us. For JT, for CDOM, I'm Hoop. Good luck tonight in your contest.